We'll create cables from 16 gauge 2-conductor copper wire and MC4 plugs. First, cut a wire segment that will reach 5 feet past the bottom center of the panel group. Skin a 1/2 inch of insulation from both conductors on one end. Crimp the red or marked conductor to the female MC4 plug and the black or unmarked conductor to the male plug. Insert the plugs into their counterparts on the panel. Start with the farthest row of panels and work toward the meeting point of the wires, which can be sorted into 4 groups. Bind the groups together and separate the positive and negative leads in each bundle. Crimp connect them to 6-gauge copper lugs. Next, place a 4-foot square plywood board below the wiring and mount 4 60-amp charge controllers. Drill 2 holes through the board and insert 3/8 inch by 3 inch long bolts with washers on either side. Now for each charge controller, fashion a pair of 6-gauge cables that are crimped to ring connectors which bind to the terminal bolts. Place the inverter on the board. Now cut 2 pairs of 1-gauge cables and bind them to the inverter and the bolt terminals. Next, position the batteries on the bottom of the board and construct 3 sets of 1-gauge cables using 1-gauge connectors. Bind them to the batteries and bolt terminals. Place a washer and nut on each terminal to firmly clamp the posts. Finally, assemble 4 pairs of 6-gauge cables that run from the copper lugs above the board to the charge controllers. The installation is complete.